I love it. Okay, test number 17. All right, let's go. Been at this for a day and a half. We should be okay this time. I'm pretty positive. Good, that's good. Good. Yes. Success. Awesome. Got a lot of air in the lines, that's fine. I'll get that kinked out and it'll work its way through, but it's flowing good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so this is day 2 of testing the new solar power pool pump. I just want to say I'm rather shocked. Yesterday, last 2 days, it was very cloudy. So I was trying to assess how it was doing based with the clouds and the rain, of course. But right now it is 7:25 a.m. So it is very early in the morning. The sun's at a horrible angle. And the panels are not even on the roof yet. They're actually still sitting on the ground right there. Ignore the yard because we're still doing the landscaping, but the pump is already on and it's pumping water. It's pumping it very slow, don't get me wrong. It's probably at 10% or maybe even a little bit less, but that's not the point. If it's 7 a.m. and it's already starting to work, that makes me really happy, because again, look at the yard. Well, ignore the yard. Look at the solar panels. The sun's nowhere near it. The sun's on the other side of the house. So the sun's on that side of the house and the solar panels are down here. We haven't put them on the roof yet, and the pump is already kicked on and working. So again, it's not pumping out tons and tons of water, but that's not the point. If it's 7 a.m. and it's already working at 10%, or maybe a little bit more or something, I'm really happy with that, because it's giving me a really good full day. I mean, yesterday it was after 5, it was close to 6, and the pump was still going pretty good. And again, that's with the panels on the ground. They're not even on the roof, so the sun's not even remotely hitting them yet. So the fact that I'm getting any free electricity out of it at all, that makes me happy. I'm really excited about this. It seems to be working really, really well. Hey everyone, it's me again. If you haven't watched my channel before, my name is Corey. My wife's name is Raquel. I'm originally from the States in Chicago. She's originally born and raised in the Philippines. We lived together for years, married in the US in Chicago, and we decided to move to the Philippines. So we prepared this for about 5+ years. Okay, so gonna get at it with this video. What I have here is a solar powered pool, and when I say that, I looked up a few online, and everything I was finding was actually more or less just like a black hose circled up, sitting in the sun to get hot and then going into the pool. And that's not at all what I have. So my entire pool, lights, pump, filtration, everything is solar powered. So when I say that, what you have here is a DC powered pump. So this pump is not your standard AC pump. You can't plug this into your house. It's not as simple as you're just wiring it to your house that it's plugged in. Anyone that's not into electrical, just keeping it simple, this would be solar or battery powered. So as far as why did I get this? One, DC pumps or motors in general tend to be a lot more efficient. 2, they're a lot quieter. And 3, us knowing that we were moving to the Philippines, I'm all about efficiency. Okay, I'm all about that. I'm all about going green. And for me to justify the pool cost by upping the electric bill wasn't something I was interested in doing. So that being said, this pump turns on every morning. It runs off of 2 solar panels. It runs all day, and then it shuts off in the evening. That's it. It's simple. It doesn't plug into the house. It has nothing to do with it. If you know anything about the Philippines, it's sunny 12 months out of the year, okay? So for me, paying electricity on something 12 months out of the year doesn't make any sense if I can avoid it and I have to buy a pump anyways. The electricity cost in the Philippines is higher than anywhere else in Southeast Asia. So as far as me just going with a normal one, again, it just didn't make any sense. I was born and raised in Maine. Okay, now over there, I wanted to convert my current pool to a solar powered one. However, the cost didn't justify it. I was turning it on for maybe 4 months out of the year, maybe a little more if I was lucky. Spending the money on everything, it just didn't add up, didn't make any sense. But here in the Philippines, where you know electricity is higher than anywhere else, at least in Southeast Asia, and you know it's sunny 12 months out of the year, it's a no-brainer. I mean, definitely something you want to do if you have the money to invest up front. Okay, so along with purchasing the DC powered pump, not the AC pump, I also got a solar charge controller. And in this picture, or this video, you should be able to see the 2 solar panels up there. So the way this is set up is those 2 panels get sun starting in the morning, for example. They're instantly sending it to the box. The box is controlling it as far as the variable speed, and then it sends the power right to the pump. So if the pump doesn't have enough power, it won't turn on. That's never been an issue. If I tried to turn it on at 6:30, it probably wouldn't work, but I think you get my point. So that's the whole point of the solar charge controller, which is very similar to how you would normally have one, except this one's made strictly for pumps. And then after that, you're going to size your panels based upon what size motor you got. I'll put links in the description for the page where I got this. You can purchase it off of Amazon. They have quite a few different sizes though, so I can't tell you, what size you would want to get. So those 2 solar panels up there are 460 watts a piece, and I purchased 2 of those. So I only need 500 watts total, but I want to overpower the unit because anytime it's cloudy, it's raining, the sun isn't at a perfect angle, I'm still getting a good amount of power. So for the purpose of recording this video, I did have to shut the pump down. The pump is extremely quiet, so I'll make sure to put clips or a video of that in here. However, I have a waterfall, so that being said, as soon as I come around here and I started to talk, you can't hear anything except for the waterfall, which is nice for us, but not when I'm trying to record this on a video. So as far as monthly cost goes for something like this, or return on your investment, I'm very, very happy with it. Now, let's say you Google this for an example, which I suggest you do. Your average pool is going to cost you in between $660 and $1,000 a year, which is according to Google. So someone's going to jump in and say that they spend half that because they have a small pool. Someone's going to say they spend triple that. The prices are going to vary all over the place, of course. I can tell you the pool that I had, I was spending about $80 a month for electricity on it. So me being in the Philippines and the amount of green life that I have around the pool all over the place, and electricity costing more here than anywhere else in Southeast Asia, I was expecting to spend, closer to $100 a month to run this thing. So for me, the return on investment was absolutely there. Okay, so as far as my total cost, I spent $600 on the pump. I did get it a little bit cheaper than it's listed online right now for. I believe online right now they're in between $700 and $900. I'll put a link though. So I paid $600 for the pump. I paid $400 for the 2 panels. I added in another $100 for miscellaneous, and then I ended up spending about $200 on a battery bank. Battery bank for a backup for this is not needed at all. I mean, the company will tell you that you don't need a battery backup whatsoever. That's not something that's required. That's something that I got just because me and my wife have this hooked up to a waterfall. So as far as us having the pool lights on at night and turning on the waterfall, that's something that we really wanted to do. So it made perfect sense for us to have the battery backup, knowing that it's only going to be $200 and I don't need to run an additional pump or run another electrical line and have an inverter or something like that. It's just going to overcomplicate it. I just put in a simple battery bank, and then I have a switch. I'll show you guys right on the box. It goes from solar, and then you hit it, and then it goes to battery. So This charge controller has been charging this battery pack. I waited 5 days before I posted this video. Every day it's been charging the battery pack along with running the pool because I oversized the panels. So I'm really happy with this purchase so far. I mean, so far it's working excellent. It turns on early in the morning, it's running all day, and because I overpowered the solar panels, I mean, I have two 460 watt panels, like I said, so that's equivalent to 920 watts. I'm running 500 to the pump. So even when it's maxed out, I'm still able to charge the battery pack on top of that. And then me and my wife are jumping in the pool, let's say at 7, 8, 9 o'clock. We hit the button, we'll leave the waterfall running, and we're in the pool, and I won't even notice. I'll have the pump on for 2, 3, 4 hours, and it doesn't even dent the battery bank. So I'm very happy with it. Okay, so being that I just stated the price and what I paid for this unit and what it cost me total, the return on investment, if I'm saving in between $50 and $100 a month, and I have $1,200 into this, you can save upward of $1,500, but I don't. You're looking at a 1 or 2 year return on it. I mean, the fact is, I got the pump for $600, built the battery bank for $2, paid about $4 for the panels. I'm into it for 12-ish. If I'm paying $100 a month in electricity to pump this thing, this pump is paying for itself the first year. So I'm very happy with this, because every day it's on, it's running, it's cleaning my pool for free, and I'm not paying for anything. So as far as pros and cons go, it's much quieter, it's a lot more efficient, it gives you a battery backup option, it's going green, which to me is it's a really big plus and positive thing. And as far as cons go, if you're paying for someone to install it, you're not a DIY kind of person, you're going to have an additional cost to install the solar panels. So that's a negative that you might have to factor in. You're going to have to up the cost a little bit on the pump, and you're going to have to buy some solar panels as well. So it is going to be an initial startup that costs more. But for me, I'm all about efficiency. I'd rather spend $1,200 now and save me $1,000 next year than spend $600 now and then spend $50 or $100 every single month after that. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I'm all about efficiency, and electricity cost is extremely high over here. So before we moved in, all of our exterior lights we already purchased in solar. Security system is off of solar. All the Ring cameras and lights around the property have their own solar panels. I mean, our house runs off of solar as well. So I mean, I wasn't even considering moving over here without having everything go solar because of the electricity cost. So if your roof is at a bad angle, let's say you purchase the house the way it sits, or you're considering doing this, you're going to want to make sure that you're going to be able to power it enough. I designed this house, so when I did that, I'm not an electrician, but it's just common sense to me knowing what electricity costs over here to have my roof set at the right angle. So my roof is designed, or I have it at the exact level I would want it for solar panels, so I'm getting the most out of them all day. And I gotta say, these panels are still sitting on the ground, so once I get them up on the roof in the next couple days, this pump's gonna run even better. I mean, it's already running really good now, but the sun rises over there, and then the panels are sitting on the ground on this side of the house. Before they even get sun on them, the pump already starts. It's already turned on, and it's building me electricity. But once it's on the roof, it's going to be getting the sun much earlier. So I'm really looking forward to that. Am I happy with it? Absolutely. Is it paying for itself? Absolutely. Would I buy it again? Absolutely. All right, I'm going to try and keep my voice somewhat down because my living room, if you haven't watched my channel before, is rather large, and I have cathedral ceiling, so it seems to echo in here no matter how I record anything, and I don't plan on soundproofing all the walls. So this is the control module that it comes with. These lines come from the solar panel, go into the breaker, and then go into the box so I can always shut it down and work on it. Then the lines go out to the pump. Nothing is plugged into the house. There's nothing to do with the house, no electricity at all whatsoever. The only additional line, which again is not something that you need to have, which would be this one, and that is for the battery bank. So again, you don't need to have one of these. That's not something that is required. I'm going to mount this battery bank on the wall, by the way. I wanted to make sure it runs and I'm happy with it. I like to test and try everything prior to permanently installing it. So I set it here and I've ran it the last 4 nights in a row and it's been working great and I'm comfortable with it. So now I'm gonna mount it on the wall, so anytime we wanna use it, we're just hitting a switch. But the way this module works compared to your typical charge controller, you're gonna have a button up here that says solar and then it says battery on the bottom. In the middle is off. So anytime I want to switch from solar power to running off the batteries, all I have to do is hit the switch. If I just hit it right now, the pump would start running. It's a really nice setup. I mean, I'm very, very happy with it. I mean, your normal pool is not gonna have this. I mean, you have an on and off switch. I've seen some pools that have more than one speed, which is very rare, but this right here, I can set anywhere I want as far as the percentage coming out of it. So if I'm running this thing at 30%, and I'll throw in a video clip of that, it's throwing water out. I'm very happy with it. I'm running it at 50 to 60%, and it's basically at full capacity if the sun is all the way up. If it's 9 a.m., that's not the case. If it's 5 p.m., that's not the case. So remember, because this is solar power and it's not just running off of, plugging it in, it's going to ramp up as the sun is coming up more and more, and you're going to hear the motor, which is quiet, but I have a waterfall. So for me, it's really easy to tell because the water will be dripping over, and then it just keeps going, and then next thing you know, the panels are getting 25-30% sun on them, and then the motor, it's all the way and it's throwing water over the waterfall. It's working great. Very, very happy with that. It's working excellent. I couldn't be happier. But yeah, this is, like I said, a 100% solar powered pool. No electricity cost, no maintenance. I don't have to do anything. So other than paying for your standard chemicals, which over here is very cheap, right away we ordered enough to last us for about 3 years, and now I have no monthly cost on my pool. And I'm all about efficiency and I'm all about budgeting, so I'm very, very happy with this. So people always ask me basic, simple questions, or at least I think it's simple, when they're saying, well, how'd you retire early and have money? And I say, I have money because I don't spend it. And it's basically, that's how it sums it up. I'm not interested in adding my monthly cost ever if I can avoid it. So I try to budget and be efficient and plan everything out. So anyways, thank you for watching. A lot more videos to come. I hope this was somewhat entertaining. I will make sure to put links and descriptions and everything if you're interested in getting something like this. But for me, we love our pool. It's working great and it doesn't cost us anything. So we're very happy with that.